Okay, I don't believe I can set this in the way that I thought I could. So let me tweak this slightly. So I'm going to set this to, I'm going to copy this code, I'm going to set it to null initially, and then I'm going to say if type equals null, type equals the first of our alert types. In this case, we're going to make the first alert type our default value. So let me save this and preview it, and it should be working successfully now. There we go. And you'll notice we're still missing the header. I'm just going to briefly tweak that. If you set it back to name, that'll work correctly. There we go. Okay, so we have our set alert types working properly as far as we can tell. So let's go ahead and actually set an alert. And we're going to say, just going to give it a default value for the moment, like so. And I think that should be enough. Now if you preview this, nothing will happen at the moment, but we actually need to be able to display those alerts. So I'm going to open up our view. Let's say below the header, I'm going to add a section specifically for our alerts. So I'm going to open up with opening and closing PHP tags, and I'm going to set an alerts variable. So alerts equals this get alerts. And you'll remember, if we go back to our template, the get alerts function will return a string which consists of multiple list items. So if we go back to the view, let's say if alerts is not equal to a blank string, we want to echo out UL so we're going to echo out an unordered list. We're going to echo out the alerts that we set right here, and then we're going to echo out, just using single quotes for consistency, the closing unordered list. Save it, and let's take a preview and see what we've got here. This isn't working quite yet. Let me tweak this and come back to you in 1 second. Sometimes it's the simplest errors that can be the hardest to catch, and if you go back to the template file, you may have even seen this as I was typing it. This comparison, if type equals 0, this needs to be 2 equals rather than 1. Otherwise we're setting type to equal null rather than checking if type equals null. So that should fix it, and there are a couple other tweaks I need to make as well. If you want to open up style.css, you want to change this alert to warning, change the border to orange. I just noticed a couple visibility issues or readability with the text. So I'm going to change the border and the color to orange, and rather than a margin of 20 pixels on the alerts, we actually want that on the unordered list itself, not on the list items. So like so, and last tweak, let's change this margin bottom to 3. Okay, so that should be enough. Let's open up login, let's preview this, and you'll notice we now have a success message. If you want to tweak this slightly, let's show off the other types of alerts. So error and warning. Now if we just leave it like this and preview it, you'll notice these have green backgrounds, and we don't want that because the default alert type is success. So if we want error messages and warning messages with different colored backgrounds, we need to pass that along. like so. Let's preview it, and you'll notice we now have different color backgrounds like we should. So the last thing we want to check is, you'll notice if we refresh the page, nothing happens. These don't go away. And that is correct the way it's working now, because it's just this page is refreshing. So every time this page refreshes, the alerts are set again. So let's tweak things just slightly. Let's open up our login view first. And you'll notice you'll need to add this. I added in a new paragraph with a link to the members.php page. So if you want to add that briefly. And once this is in, let's go ahead and do a couple tweaks. Let's open up login.php again. Let's copy all this code and then open up members.php, where I'll paste it in. I will remove the warnings, or the alerts, that is. So I will save that. Let's go ahead then and test this. So I'm going to open up login.php. This is working as it should. Let's click the link. We go to the members page, and you'll notice we no longer have any alerts.